Hello guys, today I will be reading He Doesn't Hate Me, He Never Really Did by 12345 underscore couldn't think of a name on AO3. Summary, but tags first. It's Jen, no archive warnings apply, there's no romance. It's a Minecraft fnaf fic. Relationships are Mike and Creation, Mike and Circus Baby, Mike and Purple Guy. And the characters are Purple Guy, Michael Afton, Circus Baby, and Creation, all in Minecraft FNAF. And the additional tag is Mike is Creation's parent. It's 2,269 words, one chapter, and currently has 7 hits. Please get this up to more than 7 hits. I would like that. Anyway, now on to the summary. Mike finds Creation in the void and expects to die. What he doesn't expect is for Creation to be nice. Mike wanders the void a lot now. There isn't much else to do except talk to people. And for some reason, people keep wanting to talk about emotional stuff, and he does not like that. He could go to Purple Guy's shop, but he doesn't really want to hear Purple Guy ask when he's going to pay his tab. He doesn't have money. Who in the void has money? Purple Guy, probably. Mike's not jealous or anything. There's nothing to be jealous of. Mike roams through the void. White, 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 everything's white. Where did he come from? He hasn't made a turn, he reminds himself, so the only place he could have come from is behind him. That's a relief. More white? What is he even looking for out here? Purple Guy probably grabbed all the good stuff. He's ready to turn around and go back to camp, that's what he calls the place they're staying, when he spots something in the distance. Red, blue, brown, and yellow. He blinks, confused. What is that? He needs to go check it out. Mike runs to the thing, and he soon reaches it, and it's Creation? He tried to kill you, Mike, a voice that sounds loud and annoying in his head said. It's right by technicality, but he wants to power on Creation, so he walks over to him and presses the power on button. Hi, Creation, he says, taking a step back just in case Creation decides to attack him. Creation stares at him for a minute before he speaks. Mike? Yeah! My ears and eyes appear to be malfunctioning, he says. Mike blinks. Well, I'll fix that for you, buddy, he says, smiling at the fact that he'll be allowed to fix someone. He thought the rush was gone. He'd gotten to repair the glove box regularly. You can't, Creation replies, which is disappointing. Why, he asks, because maybe if he knows why, he can fix the problem and he'll be allowed to fix Creation. And upgrade him! Creation would let him do that. Because you're not really here. Mike is very confused. I am really here, though. No, you aren't, Creation says. You don't care about me. No one does. That hurt a lot. Mike had tried to fix him during the Creation clone army. Both. He had tried so hard. Yeah, I do, he says, putting a hand on Creation's shoulder. Creation's eyes widen. You're real? He asks. How did he just realize? Oh, Mike looks at his hands. He touched his shoulder. You're real? Creation repeats and jumps. Mike expects to be murdered, so he tries to cover his head. He's knocked to the ground and isn't dead. Creation is hugging him. Not just hugging him, he's practically crushing him. Creation, can you get off me? You're crushing me. Creation lets go of him so slow, Mike didn't even know it was possible. Like, if he let go, Mike would disappear. How long has Creation been alone? Mike had been alone for only God knows how long, and he hadn't been this attached. You're real, Creation repeats, like he can't quite believe it. Mike nods and slowly gets up. I am. How long have you been alone, buddy? Creation stares at him for a moment before replying. I don't know. I stopped counting after what I assumed was the 7,300th day. Mike stares in horror. That's 20 years. No, it's over 20 years. Because that's when Creation lost count. I foolishly didn't carve a mark for each day to count, he continues, like he didn't just drop a bombshell on Mike. Okay, do you want to get some actual civilization? There's civilization? Creation asks, a certain hope in his heart that cuts Mike more than a knife ever could. Sorry, Vanny. Yeah, I mean, there's Purple Guy's shop, and the remains of the old place, and a few computers. Take me to them, he screams. Mike flinches back. Please, Creation says in a much calmer tone. Mike relaxes. Creation didn't mean to snap. He's just been on edge after being left alone for 20 years. I'll lead the way, he says, and starts walking. Creation follows him a bit too closely. The journey is fine overall, besides the fact that Creation is clinging onto him like a baby duck going to its mother. That is closer to the truth than he would like to admit. Purple Guy's shop comes into view, and the look on Creation's face is something he could live 100 million years and never forget. The sheer relief at seeing something that isn't white, void walls. We're going in, Creation commands. Mike also wants to go in to talk to Purple Guy, so he doesn't object, and both walk into the shop. Purple Guy is at the desk like he always is, unless he's taking a bathroom break or a lunch break. Maybe always isn't the right word. Hello, travelers. Purple Guy stops when he realizes it's Mike. Oh, it's just you, he says, that kind of hurts, and it isn't just him. Nuh-uh, he says and points to Creation. It isn't just me. Oh, hello, great traveler, Purple Guy says to Creation. What would you like to buy? I don't have any money, Creation says. Mike looks at him and puts a reassuring hand on Creation's shoulder. It's okay, he turns to Creation. Put anything he wants on my tab. Purple Guy deflates. Okay, he says like he can't just tell Mike no. What's a tab? Mike pulls Creation down and whispers, it's like a way to get free stuff. Why would a shop make that? Creation whispers back. Is it their goal to make money? Well, I'm meant to pay the tab at some point, but I'm not gonna. Creation glances at Purple Guy. Does he know that? Mike shrugs. I assume so. There's a basement! Creation's eyes glow. We need to go to the basement. Mike walks over to the basement entrance and goes inside. Creation follows him. Creation looks in awe. There's so many parts in here, he says. Oh yeah, he forgot the Creation is kind of evil. You can't strip anyone for parts, he says. Creation deflates. Then Mike stops to look at that weird Mike that was like his cousin or something, and Blackbird. You could strip a few for parts, he compromises, and Creation is filled with life again. The two of them leave the basement with a whole lot of parts. Purple Guy looks at them weird, but confirms he'll be putting them on their tab. Mike and Creation leaves the shop. So where do we go now? Creation asks. Home. To the little place I live, he explains, and soon leads the way. Him and Creation reach home quickly. There's a red couch and a blue couch. He lives alone, really. Vanessa and Circus Baby moved, so it's just him. You could have the red couch, he says. Creation nods and walks over to the red couch, depositing the parts on the couch. You may use this to upgrade me. Mike blinks and smiles. Really? Why would it not be really? Well, no one else lets me upgrade them, he explains. Why? Mike rolls his eyes. Something about how I make everything evil. I'm not evil. Oh yeah, he forgot Creation thinks he's the good guy. Oh yeah, you are, totally, he says. You may upgrade me now. Mike pulls out his pipe wrench. The upgrade he gives Creation isn't that fancy. He wants to do something fancier, but he's almost afraid to ask, so he gives Creation some strength upgrades and a little design tweak. I am happy with this. How do you know you're satisfied with it if you haven't seen yourself in the mirror? You're my creator. I trust you. That was actually quite sweet. Thank you, Creation, he says, giving Creation a little bow. He sits down on the couch. It's time for me to go to sleep, though. Okay, Creation replies. Mike closes his eyes and drifts off. Mike wakes up the next morning to red eyes staring at him. He jumps. Ah! Get away from me! Then he realizes it's just Creation. Oh, sorry, he says, putting a hand on his heart. I didn't realize it was you, Creation. He blinks. Were you watching me sleep? I was protecting you, Creation says. Mike blinks. That is unusual. He gets up and gets off the couch. Now to go about my daily routine. Creation looks confused. What is your daily routine, he asks. I get up and I start exploring. I find nothing and I come back. Isn't that dangerous, he asks. Mike looks at him. How? You could get lost. That was one of Mike's concerns too, but he hasn't gotten lost yet, so that's a win for him. And if you look at the statistics, that means he's safe. It's fine, Creation, he says. I haven't gotten lost yet. I'm coming with, Creation says, instead of asking if he can. Wouldn't that be like a trigger for you, he asks. Because Creation was trapped alone for 20 years. Thinking about that still hurt. I will be fine, he says. Well, creation probably knows the most about creation's mental health. He at least knows more than Mike does currently. Creation and Mike start wondering, and of course they don't find anything, so they return. I should go visit Circus Baby, Mike says. Circus Baby? Creation asks. She's my sister. I have an aunt. Mike wants to correct him, but factually he is right. Mike made him and did call him like a son at one point. Why did he say creation is like his son? He built him. That makes him him his son. Guess he will even more like than he thought. You do, he says. Brooklyn is also kind of your uncle. It's complicated. What are you going to tell me next? I have siblings. Mike feels like he should stay silent for this. No, what are their names? What do they look like? Creation says. His voice is deadpan, despite what Mike thinks is excitement. Well, there's 2.0, 3.0, Ralpho, Blackbird. Why the first two numbers, but the other two have names? That is inconsistent. Mike shrugs. I don't know, I just named them like that. Well, that's dumb. Mike decides to not take offense to that. Let's go visit Circus Baby, he says, and leads the way with Creation following him. Circus Baby's place is also Dreadbear's place because the two of them are closer siblings than he and her ever will be. So the place is edgy. It's all dark and grit, and there's an actual house. Somehow, the two managed to get a house. Dreadbear wouldn't let him move in. Not that he wanted to live with Dreadbear and be friends with Dreadbear. He's a jerk. Mike knocks on the door, and it soon opens to reveal Circus Baby. Hi, Circus Baby! Mike, she says, and he's confused why she sounds so concerned before he remembers that Creation's reign of terror over Hurricane had spread to Dreadbear's place. Do you see that thing behind you? She asks. Yeah, that's Creation, he says. And don't worry, he stops himself before he says that Creation is good now, because Creation didn't think it was evil. And he can't admit that he sees Creation as evil in front of Creation. Who does that? Not going to make another clone army. He turns to Creation. Right, Creation? I will do what is necessary to protect. Mike looks back at his sister. Well, it's not a yes, but can you let us inside? Circus Baby sighs, clearly not happy with the situation, but she takes a step back and lets them in. Creation is blind enough to close the door behind him. Why are you here? I just wanted to hang out, he says. You sure? She asks, because apparently his sister doesn't think he would want to hang out with her if he isn't in danger. I am, he confirms, because he needs to, apparently. Circus Baby seems to relax, and he wonders why, but decides not to comment on it. Dreadbear is upstairs, she says. Mike nods. He didn't come here for Dreadbear, and knowing that Creation's army went to Dreadbear's front door back when Dreadbear still had a pizzeria, he doesn't think that Dreadbear's going to be happy to see Creation. But Mike had learned something in Timeline 2, and the thing was sometimes you don't need to care what other people think. Especially because Dreadbear had also tried to kill Mike, and according to Bonnie, him and Lilbit, God, he hadn't thought about Lilbit for a long time. He'd stopped thinking about Lilbit. Why he ever thought reviving Lilbit was a good idea. Lilbit, before he had revived them, he guesses, had been an asshole. And why had he ever thought things could change in that area? Okay, I would like to avoid him, if we can help it. Why? Because he tried to kill Mike for the simple crime of being human, even though he hadn't been at the time. Mike could have died because Dreadbear didn't like him. And how fucking pathetic was that? Over a pie. Him and Creation don't really get along. He admits something he's pretty sure Circus Baby already knows. Yeah, that makes sense. Want to play video games?